Time to conduct evil.
Oh no. Garou is about to literally lay waste to the heroes in front of him. And Bang is staring at him like, no, please.
Please!
You were supposed to fight against the Sith, not join them. Yeah, nah, Garou is all about that evil right now. Graced by the powers of the cosmic Cthulhu god. And Saitama is probably off-world again. Oh my god. Where is, no pun intended, where is Saitama, yo? Alright, if you don't know, One Punch Man chapter 165 live stream reaction on my Cole Requiem channel and on twitch.tv. Links in the box below to both. Check out the live stream to this chapter. This chapter blew my mind because I did not expect that One Punch Man through Garou would reach this sort of level of power. This was insane. So number one, webcomic readers are probably happy because Garou is saying things that he said in the webcomic, where he says things like, okay, it's time to conduct evil. And honestly, as a manga reader, I'm stoked. Very stoked, because this man Murata is doing GIFs. He's doing GIFs, baby. GIF. That's how you pronounce it, not GIF. If you say GIF, you're a heathen, you're wrong, okay? Listen to Shadow explain to Sonic why it's called GIF, not GIF.
One long, angry line later.
That being said, the fact that Murata is doing that kind of stuff, and it's literally Saitama and this man Garou fighting within a nuclear explosion, and like just their shadows across the sky, and then you have the regular people watching from down below. It's honest to God like a battle of gods, if you would. The fist that fights against God versus the avatar of God. And that was really cool, because he's done it before in the past, Murata. And whenever he does, it's always so surprising. The GIFs and the colors, oh, the colors are so, like, to this day, the God spread, when Homeless Emperor meets with God, when this man is on the moon, God, Giga Chad God on the moon, yo, Murata's crazy. Murata is absolutely, without a doubt, one of the best in the business when it comes to detail, when it comes to artwork, when it comes to impact. Very few can match him. Murata himself said before that he makes this fight better than Boros, and he is living up to that in spades. So Garou comes out. Last chapter, 164, the redraw. Okay, we have no more table scene between Saitama and Garou. Now we have God giving Garou power. And this dude comes out looking like essentially Alien X from Ben 10. There was a very good chance that he wasn't going to start throwing and hurling planets at Saitama, that kind of stuff, okay? They still have to kind of fight on the planet they're on right now, at least for the time being. Maybe this battle goes off-world. Maybe Saitama and Garou start fighting somewhere on Titan, where Thanos' people lived in the past, and then maybe at some point we do whiz by Nick Fury. Who knows? But right now we can't hurl celestial bodies at each other. So instead, what Murata gives Garou through his own martial arts style is the knowledge and the flow of all types and of energy and forces that exist in the universe. That is what Garou gets. This does not exist, as far as I understand, in the webcomic. As far as I understand, Garou is not this powerful. So no one saw this coming. First of all, NFF, Nuclear Fission Fist. Dude. When you have the equipment on that ship, initiate some sort of decontamination for radiation. And then, wait, hold on, that alarm is for a nuclear attack. And then you just see the explosions. And knowing that the energy orb of the divine power around Garou's fist is of the same type of Homeless Emperors, I'm a big Homeless Emperor stan, all right? I think he's pretty cool, I ain't gonna lie to you. And the fact that he's doing nuclear fission And then it's the same class of power as Homeless Emperor that also gives Homeless Emperor a buff because now I have a better understanding of what his powers were. So his powers and energy orbs are probably based to some degree on that ability to potentially split atoms. Now, does he call it nuclear? No. He does some crazy orb stuff. It's pretty cool. That's it. But Garou calls it nuclear fission. And we see genuine nuclear explosions repeatedly over and over and over and over and over again. And it is, imagine that, a Jotaro, but each one has literally the power of an atomic bomb. A little boy. Wow. That alone was stunning. That alone had my jaw drop. I couldn't believe what I was seeing there. And then they double tap it, where you could argue it's even more insane, which is this dude Garou able to mimic Saitama's moves wholesale. We knew they could do it in the past before with other characters, like Bomb. They even showed a picture of him and Watchdog Man copying his moves too. But now we have him actually mimic this mode Saitama, where he does the consecutive normal punches. Now, to be very fair here, the consecutive normal punches that Garou is mimicking probably had no killing intent behind them because Saitama doesn't want to kill Garou. He wants to save Garou. So these are ideally nerfed consecutive punches. Whether it's going to be a serious or a normal, because he made promises to the kid, he won't kill Garou. And Garou is actually still himself conscious. He's not being controlled like Doflamingo style, like a puppet, by God. But nonetheless, being able to match Saitama, like not just use some martial arts skills to like divert the blows like he did last time in the previous chapters. No. Being able to actually match him fist for fist, even though it's a cross trade. What? Saitama. That was an absolutely shocking and almost a scary sort of panel because it shows just how far Garou has come. But then, oh my God, wow. Nah, dude. Christmas came early this year because Garou is dishing out all sorts of presents. Maybe not the ones Saitama wants, but damn, I'm happy to see them. That's for damn sure. Yo, Gamma Ray Burst. I would stand up right now, but I need to calm down because it's I'm doing a discussion video. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it, okay? I'm not King Kong, okay? Well, I have the muscles. This is, yeah, baby. Listen. Maybe like Mighty Joe Young. This dude pulls out the Gamma Ray Burst, right? This is the same thing that stars do. Actual, like our sun, other suns in the cosmos, when they collapse in on themselves, right? They form black holes, and then they jettison these things called gamma ray bursts that are the most destructive things in the universe. Now, I thought in the past there was quasars, but they're not really like explosions. Actual star explosions with like giant stars form gamma ray bursts. Marauder was so clean, he actually does both rays. One in the back, one in the front. Saitama eats one of those rays. If this thing even grazes the planet, it's done. That's absolutely correct. So Garou was actually on the verge of literally killing everyone on the planet if not for Saitama actually jumping and taking the blast and then being sent off somewhere. Either he's still on the planet and like on the side of the planet, maybe, but he, nor Murata, he's probably off world. Look, that is shockingly impressive, okay? Now, the argument here is, okay, the gamma ray burst isn't, it's not like the actual size of a normal gamma ray burst that you get from an actual star explosion. Fair enough. But, dude, this thing is destroying the planet several times over. Easily, several times over. This thing is way more powerful than Boris's collapsing star cannon, without a doubt. And the fact that Garou can do this and not even be really sweating it, that means there's more. There's actually more that Garou can potentially do in the future, because again, Garou has access to all forces that the universe can offer, ideally. Now let me note to something really quick. When Saitama tries to evade it by jumping up, and Garou calls him a fool, you can't dodge his attack like that. We actually see Garou's face, and there's explosions that are like in his body somehow. Whenever Garou does something, whether it was the nuclear fission fist, whether it was him mimicking Saitama with the Saitama mode, or whether it was, let's say, the gamma ray burst, his body is going to indicate that in some unique cosmic way. And honestly, guys, it's a pretty eerie but also nice touch too, especially for one panel, which I'll get to real soon. But where do we go from here? First and foremost, I don't think we're going to spend too much time on the Garou vs. S-Class heroes, because it's going to be a slaughter. Flashy Flash himself stated that they couldn't escape. We may see the heroes stand up together and show Garou that their willpowers never break, but knowing One Punch Man, knowing how these heroes operate, they're not the Justice League. So ultimately speaking, Garou's about to systematically curve stomp all of them. And at this point in time, it's going to be conducting evil, true, but for beaten and battered and bruised S-Class, A-Class, B-Class, C-Class. We're in the midst of the main event between Saitama and Garou. And if we do have Garou kind of like beating down on Pig God and beating down on Tank Top Master and beating down on Genos, it kind of feels like filler. Will it be savage?
Maybe.
In order to appease the webcomic readers, it may be brutal, like whoa. But it just kind of feels like it'll be filler because Saitama, hello, please? Like, I don't care about this. I care about Saitama versus Garou. Not, let's beat down on Genos again. What? No. Move on. That's the first thing. Second thing, Saitama. Right now, where is he? Again, no one knows. He's probably off-world. He could be somewhere still on the planet, maybe. But if he is off-world, he could be on Mars, on Titan, somewhere near Pluto, on Pluto. Who the hell knows? But someone has to come back and kick Garou's ass. That's what I need to see. And more importantly, a big question here is, what on earth can Garou do outside of the things he's shown so far, including this insane gamma ray burst? Can he control gamma rays in some other crazy fashion? Maybe even control gravity itself in other crazy ways. When Garou does do his gamma ray burst, he does make, as far as I can tell, a temporary black hole, which tends to be one of the results after a star explodes and goes supernova, which causes a gamma ray burst. But can he do more of that? Like, for example, we can see in the Orochi mural, in the redraw of 112, that the sacrifices in the mural are kind of being levitated up towards Orochi, then towards God. So them levitating, kind of floating up would imply that God can easily control gravity at will. Therefore, God can actually control gravity in other unique ways, probably, let's say, through the martial arts style of the Water Stream Rock Punching Fist. That's my guess here. So add gravity or lighten gravity, that kind of stuff. And then from that, I do wonder, maybe, this is a big maybe here, maybe we do see Garou actually utilize psychic powers. We have seen Psychos at the time Gyoro in chapter 111 actually increased the gravity on Tatsumaki to 300 times normal gravity, going through an old school Dragon Ball Z training regiment. So if Garou can control gravity through the universal understanding of all types of energy and forces, then maybe through some weird martial arts stuff, he could also utilize psychic powers. Maybe. And then finally, I would say too, is the ability to actually utilize dark matter and dark energy. Because the idea comes from his fight against Dark Oilshine, where against Dark Oilshine in chapter 126, when he was healing and his limiter started to break, there is a dark kind of swirling pattern on the wound that he got previously when he challenged Monster Lord Orochi and Gyoro. And Murata did say, I forgot where, but he did say that he was actually using dark matter to actually heal himself. So all of his regen is potentially based on being able to absorb dark matter, which would mean that in this state, he could easily utilize dark matter, dark energy for other crazier what-the-hell attacks. That, in theory, that should be very, very possible. So the future is very bright, even brighter than his freaking gamma ray burst, which is brighter than the sun. It's even brighter than that. And it is crazy how he gets all of this stuff just by grazing. And I don't mean what herbivores do. Grazing the hand of God. It does show you the scale, I think, in some ways, the power of God, where his avatar just by grazing a fraction of God's power can do this much, how good is the actual entity itself? I did a video on that one. I did a video on that one. Check it out. Link in the box below. I think it's actually a pretty accurate video because I believe that God is way more powerful than I think folks would assume. That's my guess here. But it is fair to say that it's not just also grazing the hand of God, but also because Garou's own limiters are actually broken or chipped to the point where he can gain more power directly from God. It's more infused into his being, which is why Cyclops and Homeless Emperor, they were powerful, but nowhere near as powerful as Garou, obviously. And as a result, with this power, and the heroes just on sight run and they cower, they fear Garou. He has become finally his dream. He has achieved his own twisted version of the Pirate King and Hokage. That is Garou right now. And in a very weird and kind of eerie, but also cool way, he thanks God. He thanks God for giving him this power. I'm kind of surprised here because it is some good character stuff for Garou, because before this chapter he was a hardcore atheist. Like, yo, I have the God Slayer stuff. God is whack, God is trash. Like you would think when he was a kid, he was TPing churches. But now that he has the power, now that he's seen the man walk on water and turn water into wine. Uh-oh. And he's crying when he says thank you and looks up towards the sky. And as he cries, it looks like the stars are falling in his body. This is a very good panel. This is a very good panel, honest to God. No pun intended. But right now, this is without a doubt, the best fight in One Punch Man.